Yeah, obviously very pleased and happy for everyone. Oh gosh, yeah, it probably won't really sort of sink in, I think, and I don't know, maybe we get home or into the new year, but you know, I understand and we all understand that what we've done is pretty special. To win 3-0 out here and, you know, obviously be part of a result in every game and coming out on the good side of it will be something to look back on and, yeah, be very proud of.
And it's your first tour overseas as captain. How much do you think you've learned from that experience going forward?
I think obviously coming out subcontinent conditions and having to think about the game differently compared to playing games in England. You know, trying out a few different things that maybe not have been seen before, and just assessing the conditions and, you know, just having to be a bit out there and to see them work. You know, they're not always going to work, but I feel as if you know, everything we've tried has sort of came off in the series. So yeah, I think I've learned a lot in terms of the tactical side of playing out in these types of conditions. So yeah, I think that's probably the best thing to come out of it for me. A lot. He's been on my shoulder for a while now, every time I go on bat, and he'll be there for a few more months, unfortunately. So yeah, I was trying my hardest, but just kept on blinking it. Let's say I need to get into the gym. So yeah. I think we should just sit here and talk about the success that we've seen this Test match rather than talking or thinking about that. I think in particular this game was obviously losing the toss and then having to bowl first. You know, I think everyone's aware of how important the toss can be in the subcontinent, but you know, being under a different type of pressure of having to bowl the team out first and then go out and play with runs already on the board obviously was different to what we've had to do in the first two games. So, but you know, the most impressive thing I think about the team this game was the way that we still stuck to how we played. We always talk about taking the scoreboard out of anything and any thinking, and we did that. So yeah, I think the way in which we still managed to apply ourselves in the same way we did in the first two tests, albeit under different pressures just because of the toss, was very pleasing, and then still to be able to come out victors to, you know, obviously batting last and on a subcontinent wicket was very good. So yeah, very pleased with that. Yeah, like I'm very pleased, and I think, you know, I think taking the extra pressures that can come with playing the game and just sort of letting the lads feel that the only pressures on them is what the game is, not putting more on them. But then also having an understanding that, you know, all the talking that we do and the way in which we speak around, you know, you still got to be open and listen to players around you as well, and, you know, still check in on them, because, you know, obviously everyone wants to go out there and always try to perform as well as they can. So you know, I think I've, you know, learned that on this tour as well. There's still, you know, having the individual aspect of players and sometimes going away from you know, the team mentality, and then, you know, just checking in with individuals if and when I felt like I needed to. So I think, you know, I've learned that on this tour as well. So yeah, the tour or this game.
Yeah, the tour.
Yeah, good. Up there. No, I think, I don't know. Obviously, I get to come here and speak and you know, say all the stuff, but you know, I think everyone who's played has at some point throughout the whole series put their hands up and one way or another, and, you know, contributed to us winning the game. You know, we've had some lads who have missed out on playing in this tour, and the graft and the effort that they put in, you know, at training, and, you know, even just doing 12th man. I know it's a cliche thing, but this, being out in the subcontinent, is probably one of the hardest places to do it. You know, so they've been amazing as well, and it's just a great place to be at the moment as a team, where everyone wants everyone to succeed and everyone understands, you know, their position in the team, even if they're not playing. So yeah, it's been a been a great team effort to come here 3-0, and yeah, just very pleased. Oh, I think the illness thing is obviously, you know, not been ideal, but we just cracked on. When we've turned up to the ground, we've just cracked on with the cricket, and everyone's just put that to one side and concentrated on what they needed to do, you know, in the game at the time. And I don't know if being ill and winning games sort of has any correlation to us going even further. I just think it shows the way in which we just crack on and get on with things. So proud of everyone who's just sort of got through the external stuff with the illnesses and stuff like that's been floating around, and everyone who's put the effort in. We've had some days out in the field and stuff like that where the bowlers and the fielders have came off just drained because, you know, they're not feeling great, but they've rested up, and then they've all turned up again the next day and gone out. You know, Woody in particular, the role which he's played not feeling great is, you know, was a huge effort, you know, running in and bowling as fast as he does, and the way in which I used him to be, you know, the enforcer, and, you know, to bowl short and get them sort of playing differently. You know, a huge amount of credit has got to go to him in the way that he's had to operate out here on pretty slow pitches where he said he can't get it above the batsman's knees sometimes. So huge effort from Woody, and just to point one person out. I don't really have, you know, any expectations of what he was going to do in terms of runs and wickets, but I think it was great. The more that he bowled, the more confident he got within himself. You know, that spell last night, the more he got into it, he was coming to me more often about field placings and changes to the field to try and get them to play a certain shot. The Saud wicket, for example, you know, he was the one who brought up the deep square for the sweep, because he said, no, if he top edges it's going to go straight to him, and then 2 balls later it did. So you know, as an 18-year-old to come into his first test match and have such a sort of, you know, cricket savvy brain, especially under the, you know, in test match pressure, was really good for us. And then obviously we got a snippet of what he can do with the bat as well. Very talented young man, and you know, I think just let him progress, because, you know, at the moment I feel as if this is a great changing room and a great environment for him to be able to do that. We won't be putting any more pressure on him, and we'll be trying to take it off him as much as he can and just let him continue to get better and better, because he is not the finished article. But it's great signs for us going forward that we've got someone like Ryan at such a young age who, you know, we could put a lot of time and effort into him to hopefully see him do more of what he did this week on a cricket field for England. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you want when you're picking a team, is you want to have discussions that are hard, who to pick, you know, so you'd much rather be in that situation than not. But Brookie's been outstanding this series. The way in which he's played and taken the game on, the amount of runs he scored, you know, the strike rate that he scored at, it's been incredible to watch. He's a very switched on man with the bat, you know, and the end of this year has obviously finished off a great summer for him. You think about all the runs that he scored for Yorkshire, to then get into the team at the back end because of an unfortunate injury to Johnny, but then to come out here and play in the way that he's done and show the world what he's all about is really good for us going forward. And you know, he says he'll be giving the selectors a migraine. He'll be giving me and Baz a migraine as well. So you know, thanks for making me have a sore head, Brookie. He's been awesome. Yeah, definitely. I think just going out and enjoying every moment we can, whatever situation we find ourselves in, or whatever the way. Like the first test match, obviously the wicket was very flat, and just said, can we just enjoy the flatness, boys? Like, let's just enjoy the challenge and just see what we can do. Jimmy Anderson smiling, which is an impressive thing in itself when he's out there on the field. So yeah, it's great time to be in this dressing room, great time to be playing for England, and I'll just keep encouraging everyone to turn up every day and just enjoy what you're doing. And you know, it's a lot easier to do when we are winning like we are at the moment, but the real test will be if things don't start going so well, and that'll be the time to you know, just make that even more important thing for us to take out there. But yeah, I hope we don't come to that. Think about that when it happens, if it happens. I think so anyway, but you know, sport is entertainment for people. You know, people come to watch it, people come to see stuff, they want to see exciting stuff, but you know, I'm not for a minute going to sit here and say other teams should do it, because I don't think that's right. But all we can do is concentrate on the way that we want to play, and if we can have any say in keeping, you know, Test cricket to make it grow and stop people saying that it's a dying format, then we will keep doing that. But you know, I'm not going to sit here and say other nations around the world need to change the way that they play, because you know, I don't think that's my place to say. Did you not watch our series against South Africa? Just gone.
New Zealand, you mean?
Sorry, I beg your pardon. New Zealand, and then later in the Ashes.
Yeah, I don't think we need to start talking about that. We can just talk about what we've done in the here and now, and we can talk about New Zealand and Australia when that comes along. Well, we bought a chef with us, that's nothing against Karachi food, but we bought a chef to cook food that we're accustomed to.
Okay, we're done. Thank you. Thanks.